Hello and welcome to this very quick webinar. Um, my name is Paul Madden. I'm one of the founders of Kaboo. Kaboo, for those who don't know, is a platform that helps people to understand, protect, and improve their link profile. And we have been, over the last 4 years, just over 4 years now, I think, looking at link data in volume to try and understand its risk. I think we just passed last week the 7.5 billion links scored for their risk using our own link risk algorithm to give every link a score. So today, what I thought we'd do is just very quickly run through some of the stuff that we've seen from operating in that link space about the impact and potential consequences of Google's change to real-time Penguin. So, very quick Penguin history for those that aren't that familiar with it. So Penguin is a filter that Google used or still use to dampen down the impact of the optimization done by SEO companies. So it's designed to try and reduce the impact of manipulation that or optimization that people do to try and improve their rankings via SEO. So it was first launched in 2012, and it used to be a separate routine to the main ranking algorithm, and therefore it was run very infrequently. So what tended to happen was that sites that got caught up in Penguin, they had to wait months for Google to rerun the routine again, and it could be months, or in fact, in a couple of cases, I think we went well over a year between versions of Penguin. And Penguin also used to suppress the ranking ability of the whole site. So if you found that your site was caught up by the Penguin filter, it would just have its ranking ability suppressed or reduced for the amount of time that it was under that particular filter. Now, version 4 of Penguin changed all that. So the major change is that Penguin 4 is real time, and it's now part of the core ranking algorithm. They've brought it's not a separate routine anymore. They've put it within the ranking algorithm, which means that Google state that it runs in real time. Penguin 4 is also much more granular, whereas the old versions of Penguin used to operate at site level. The current version of Penguin operates at page level, so that it's a significant change the way that Penguin is actually applied. Because Penguin now, instead of suppressing the whole site, it removes the ability of the problematic links it spots. It removes their ability to pass link equity. By removing the link equity from those problematic links, the ranking ability of the page that's linked to is reduced. So instead of suppressing, putting a filter on the whole site, what they're saying is that the individual links that they determine to be problematic that are pointing at a particular page are assessed, and then their link equity is removed. And if their link equity is removed, therefore they don't contribute to the ability for that page to rank. Well, that's good, right? You'd think that's good. Well, it is, but it does make things much harder to understand. So, what have we seen so far? Well, we've kind of seen a fairly low level of chatter about changes that people have noticed they can attribute to Penguin. In the early days, we saw very few big swings in rankings, positive or negative. And in the early days, some people did say that they'd seen sites recover, and we're still seeing some people saying they see sites recover that they thought previously were affected by Penguin. Now, the original recovery, I think a lot of that probably is down to the switch from impacting the whole site to just impacting individual pages that Google think are manipulative, or the links pointing to those pages. But it's also true to say that it often takes Google quite a while to bed these things in. So that's when you often see the fluctuation in the very early days. So why haven't we seen a major impact of real-time Penguin? Well, to explain that, we really have to dig through the mechanics of how Google are actually applying this. And to do that, we need to think about the way that Google have termed it. So they say it acts in real time. Now, real time is defined in an interesting way, because real time for you and I means as soon as something changes, it's implemented there and then. So that's real time. So it's happening right now as soon as it sees it. But that's not really the way that Google uses the term real time. So real time for Google means that once we crawl the page again. So how is Penguin applied? Let's look at real time in a Google way. So each time page A is crawled, its Penguin state is apparently recalculated. But Real-Time Penguin operates by removing the ability of spammy links to pass equity to that page. So in reality, Real-Time Penguin actually relies on the signals from the linking sites on whether they are spammy or not. And those statuses of whether those links are spammy or not are only updated for them when they in turn are crawled. What? Confusing, huh? So let's look at a pretend example. So imagine that page A has all these sites linking to it. Site 1, Site 2, Site 3, Site 4, etc. Now, the linking domains for page A each have a status of whether they pass their equity to page A or not. So it's either on or off in my simplistic example. And that's determined by Penguin or maybe another algorithm within Google. But it's only updated when they are crawled, like all Google signals are. So, over time, this status is updated, and the linking page, once those linking pages are recrawled, and it can take some time. But that means over time, it may well be the case that more and more of a link profile is getting negated by Penguin. So it's having its ability, those links having their ability to pass equity removed as Google gets around to recrawling them. So page A will only feel the effect of Penguin as the links pointing to it are updated. And those links are assessed and updated as they are recrawled by Google. And that process can take months to fully apply, which means that changes to the Penguin algorithm can take a while to implement across the entire link graph. So Google Penguin changes will only be felt slowly, as that link graph is slowly updated by the crawl. But surely, you might say, the link graph is always in a state of update, so it shouldn't really matter. Well, that is true, but we've been made to expect the changes will apply in real time. And Google real time and our real time aren't really the same thing. And it's likely that links that lose their ability to pass value will never regain that ability. So it becomes a slow eroding of the total link equity pointed at your page A. As that eroding of the link equity happens, the rankings will naturally start to slip from that. And to make matters worse, the fact that it applies once the links are recrawled means that any changes that we make are hard to attribute to Penguin. So it's kind of a hidden factor in the background that's slowly causing potential problems. So a change that we make today that could unintentionally worsen a page's links might not be fully felt for weeks or months as those links are recrawled and start to update their signals back to the page. So link profile, crawl-dependent issues are felt really slowly and therefore much harder for us to diagnose, much harder to diagnose than, say, a technical SEO issue. Or sometimes people assume that because it didn't happen in real time, or real time as we define it, it really isn't actually being caused by Penguin. And meanwhile, in the background, Google is slowly eating away at the link profile. But, you think, so if Google are just removing the ability of some of my bad links to pass the value that they had, surely I can just throw stuff in and see what sticks and what doesn't. So I can go back to my old sort of spammy ways. Well, unfortunately, no, you can't, because manual actions and manual action penalties still exist. And we here at Caboo see them being applied by Google. And it's true to say that they're still being applied at roughly the same rate as they were before Real-Time Penguin was around. And that applies for both really big sites and really small sites, all sites. And the disavow file is still your best insurance against those penalties. So what do we take from all this? Well, best practice wins in 2017. Best practice is understanding your profile, understanding your link risk, and understanding what to do about it. And keep trying to reduce that risk, because link quality is now at the core of the ranking algorithm. Hugely important point. The quality of your links and their ability to pass their value and their ability to pass their risk is at the core of the ranking algorithm. It is what makes the difference. And if you don't try to understand it and take steps to slowly improve it, your ability to rank can slowly fall away. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. If there are any questions, by all means, ping us an email here at Caboo. I'm paul@caboo.com. Or get in touch via social media or on the site itself. Thanks for your time.